Hello, everyone. Ex-Wallkill Bethelite here. And this past Sunday's Watchtower discussion was again about giving counsel. Does your counsel make the heart rejoice? A Jehovah's Witness Watchtower study reminds me of the Bethel morning worship service. The reason why is because after being at Bethel day after day after day, listening to morning worship over and over and over again, almost every morning for years, it becomes comical because eventually you learn that we are going to all gather together every morning to talk about things we don't do. Same thing with the Jehovah's Witnesses Watchtower discussion. Counsel to make the heart rejoice. We all know that Jehovah's Witnesses counsel, oftentimes what that involves is disfellowshipping or shunning. No, that does not make the heart rejoice. The first couple paragraphs here in that Watchtower goes in to talk about an elder going to visit a sister who hadn't been to meetings. Now, it goes in to talk about how the elder should go in and ask the sister how she's doing, instead of having a pre-prepared speech to give to the sister when he gets there. The paragraph even mentions, it gives a skit basically of the sister getting angry at the elder, saying, "You guys don't know what I'm going through." Now that part, that much about Jehovah's Witnesses, I can agree with. For the most part, they don't know what other people are going through. They don't really talk to people to learn what they're going through in order to help them. They talk to people to find faults so that they can shun. If this sister had not been to meetings long enough for elders to come to her house, we know the reason why she feels like no one knows where she's coming from is because no one has checked on her. The elder mentioned in this paragraph, is he the only one in the congregation? Is it a congregation full of one elder? No, there's a whole congregation, hundreds of people. And in a realistic situation where someone has not been to meetings, in most cases, ain't nobody checking on them. No one's checking on the person to see how they're doing. They're automatically shunning the person. They're just automatically going to stop talking to them. The elder then goes over to see if he can find something that the person's done wrong so that they can go ahead and disfellowship them or give them some kind of public reproof or something. That's what this is all about. And then it goes into a whole nother subheading talking about what is the right motive. And the reason why this reminds me of the Bethel Family Watchtower, where we sit and talk about stuff we don't actually do, is because of the hypocrisy. Jehovah's Witnesses study all week to come together and discuss pure hypocrisy. What is the right motive? It goes in to mention the scripture, love is patient and kind, it bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Jehovah's Witnesses do not endure all things. They don't bear much of anything, let alone all things. If you don't want to come to their meetings, if you don't want to go to their particular church services, they shun you. There isn't all this loving anything. They come to visit, the elders come to visit in order to find out what's going on. And once they find out what's going on, all that loving and enduring and bearing all things, all that comes right to a halt, right quick. See, love isn't something you can just turn on and off, turn on and off. It's either love or it's not. It's either real or it's fake. So shunning is not loving. The scripture that they're studying does not even hint that shunning is love. It's talking about love is patient and kind and bears all things. It doesn't say love is do what I say, and if you don't do it, we make sure your family stop talking to you. To teach you a lesson to listen to us. That's not what that scripture entails. But this is what they study. They study the opposite of what they do. Then it goes into the next subheading of, is the counsel really even necessary to give? And it's just interesting that it's going through how to give effective counsel and learning when to give counsel and when not to give counsel. And these are people who shun more than anything else. Jehovah's Witnesses are much, much, much quicker to shun than they are to give counsel. These people who are all around the world getting together and getting into the Kingdom Hall or Zoom discussion to talk on this topic, they all know what will happen if they openly talk to one of Jehovah's Witnesses or an elder or something to that effect about things going on in their life, real things going on in their life. They're going to get kicked out. They're going to get shunned. This is not what a counselor does. You ever heard of a counselor? You ever heard of a counselor that you go to, and if you actually do tell them what's wrong, they then call up your family and tell them all to stop talking to you because that fixes problems, apparently? No, counselors don't do that because it's not effective in fixing problems. And that person, if they were to just, if the person were to be in an environment where sharing their feelings and expressing what's really going on likely could mean that an elder, quote unquote, counselor is about to get up on stage and announce to everyone that they should stop talking and associating and being friends with this person, including their own family. This is not an environment a person would feel comfortable talking in, let alone having counselors being ready to listen. Listen to what? No one's going to tell you anything, because if they do, you're going to shun them. You're going to disfellowship them. You're going to kick them out. That's the only way Jehovah's Witnesses know to deal with problems. Do what we say. If what we say don't work, because we don't know what else to say, we don't know how to fix problems. We ain't been to college. They haven't been to college to learn how to be an effective counselor. They ain't done nothing but read this watchtower. That's all they did. All them elders they've done nothing but read these magazines. They don't know how to be counselors. They haven't been to college. All they know how to do is shun people. Just get up on stage and announce you did something, and then everyone will stop talking to you. But this is just pure hypocrisy. Then there's a whole subheading, being patient and kind. It has a picture of someone, uh, being given counsel, and he's got his arm crossed because he's not really listening. This is the most hypocritical thing picture at Watchtower's ever had. If this were to happen, this person would get disfellowship. They get shunned, and the elder would get up on the stage and say this person is unrepentant and he's no longer a Jehovah's Witness, which means no one can talk to him. That's what would happen. There's not going to be no loving counsel. There's going to be harsh, cold disfellowshipping. That's what's going to happen. And the whole Watchtower article never even mentions disfellowshipping. That's 99.9% of what Jehovah's Witnesses do, but the entire Watchtower article never mentions disfellowshipping. How did they miss that? How did they miss the inevitable result of this quote-unquote counselor listening to you? The result is either A, it's going to get gossiped throughout half the city, or B, they're going to get up on stage and announce that you're disfellowship, and then that's going to get spread through half the city. One or the other. But you have to understand that this is not normal. This is not what counselors do. So when the Bible is talking about counsel that makes the heart rejoice, what are Jehovah's Witnesses even thinking when they get together and make that the subheading of an entire Watchtower article? Counsel that makes the heart rejoice? You mean counsel that makes the heart sad, as in disfellowshipping? Is that what you mean? How exactly do Jehovah's Witnesses all get together and study and read and sit there and have a whole discussion about things that they don't do? I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. How someone doesn't stand up and say, this is hypocritical. We don't do any of this. We disfellowship everybody. We discipline them. That's what we do. We don't counsel them. We discipline them. Nine 937-789-4029. You comment down below. But there's thousands of people who have Jehovah's Witness family, and they can all tell you that problems and issues amongst Jehovah's Witnesses are handled by shunning and disfellowshipping. This is harsh punishment that's given out to people as young as 18 years old. An 18-year-old will have an elder get up and announce their name in front of all their friends at a kingdom hall, telling everybody to stop talking to them. And this is the group of people that got together talking about love is kind and endures all things, and all the hypocrisy in the world. All the hypocrisy. It's like I'm just sitting here telling everybody about how I got this blue shirt on. I got a blue polo shirt, and man, I like blue. No, it's red. It's the polar opposite of what I'm talking about. That's this Watchtower article. They shun people. They disfellowship. They, quote unquote, take privileges away. That's what they do. They don't counsel because these people are not counselors. Their job, whatever it is they do, ask an elder what they do for a living. It's not something down the line of being a counselor. It's not something down the line of being an advisor. They're probably a window washer. They don't know how to solve complex problems. What they know is Do what we tell you or we'll just shut you. What kind of counselor is that? 937-789-4029. We'll discuss it. But I don't know how Jehovah's Witnesses get together and talk about the polar opposite of what they do. And no one catches on that this is all hypocrisy. This is all a religion that should no longer exist. Watchtower was all about these people were supposedly able to predict the end of the world. Watchtower supposedly came up with the formula to be able to predict the end of the world. They tried it in 1975. They tried it again with the generation of 1914 that wasn't supposed to pass away before the end of the world. Their formula didn't work. That was the point of Watchtower's whole existence, was that they were supposed to be able to figure out, decode the Bible, if it were, and figure out the end of the world or when about it was about to take place. It was all false. They were wrong. They can't figure any of that out. The whole organization should have just fell through at that point. But instead of just falling through like they should have, because you know what I mean? It's like you get cable so that you can have internet and Wi-Fi, but yet the Wi-Fi doesn't work, the internet doesn't work, but you just keep sending money to the company and the company sends you magazines. That's what this is Watchtower was supposed to predict the end of the world, and it was supposed to predict the end of the world accurately, be able to figure out Bible chronology and all of that. You don't get no accurate end of the world predictions. They're all false. The light gets brighter is what they'll tell you. You don't get any special knowledge. The whole concept that the Jehovah is the actual name of God is false. Watchtower's even come out and said that that's not accurate. You're paying a company, and the stuff that they're supposed to give you, they don't give you. They just send you a magazine about hypocrisy. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's like people paying a car note every month, paying a car bill every month, and they ain't got no car. What are you doing? Watchtower was supposed to be able to predict the end of the world. That was the whole reason that they're there. The whole reason they're giving everybody magazines to pass out all over the place, because they thought the end of the world was coming, because they thought they could predict it. They can't. They were wrong. People are still giving them money anyway to feed them this hypocrisy. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. X-Wall Kill Bethelite signing out.